Storms were still rolling through as neighbors woke up to find what's left of their property in the wake of high winds Thursday night.
The warnings and the sirens are going off, and the storm just kind of moved in.
Around 8:30 Thursday night, the winds ripped a band from Henry to Washington County, tore roofs off, and damaged buildings that were in its path. And while there were no reported injuries, what's left lays mangled and in some cases burning in fields.
I heard a lot of the tin hitting the house, rocks hitting the house, stuff hitting our house.
Structures weren't the only casualty. Tree limbs in some spots clutter front yards like leaves in fall. Police say they're still not sure how many homes and businesses were affected by the tornado, but the folks cleaning it up say they do know one thing. It's going to be a big task to get it all done.
We've seen everything: turkey buildings, damage to houses, new machine shed, just everything you could imagine. If it was in its way, it just destroyed.
This is a community that's going to have to rebuild, but it is a community.
Seen the damage and lend a hand, because I know they'd be there for me if I had damage right now.
In Washington County, Josh Scheinblum, CBS 2 News. You can see behind me there is a lot of damage here in this area. We're told that the tornado took place just about after 8 o'clock last night. That's stretching about 10 miles in total damage. That tornado moving for approximately a quarter of a mile. Now, we have been in contact with both local police departments as well as with our freelance photographer and storm chaser. He estimates that about 12 homes have been damaged in this area. And if you just take a look over here, you can see that there is a barn completely taken off with its roof. There is twisted metal, all while a storm continues to pass over us right now here in this area. Now, we are told by emergency management that power is on in these areas, although it is important to note that at least in some spots they did turn power off for a short period of time in the aftermath of that tornado. Now, we're told that the tornado stretched everywhere from Henry County over to Washington County, the majority of the damage actually being in Washington County. So if you are in the area, if you are planning on traveling anywhere here for your morning commute, it's important to try to avoid a lot of these back roads here. I can tell you they are very dangerous, as a number of them are washed out and you risk getting your vehicle stuck in those spots. One of the one of the places where there is a lot of damage from this tornado is over by Spruce Avenue and 330th Street. We're told there's a number of homes that are damaged in their spot. And if you see over here, this is what it looks like over in Wayland. There are trees torn about. There are pieces of metal that looks more like just crumpled up pieces of paper. There's a piece of fence that's knocked over. And clearly the obvious roof that has been taken off of this barn over here. Now, we are talking with emergency management crews. They say that while there is nobody on scene yet, they did respond appropriately at that time. Police say that if you do come out here, make sure you do keep safety in mind as well. We just spoke with the Henry County Sheriff's Department. An officer drove up just moments ago. They say that while they're not patrolling this neighborhood in particular right now, that they are keeping an eye on the situation. Now, it's also important to mention that there are no reported injuries at this time, but you can see here there is some significant damage. We'll be here trying to give you the latest information right now on CBS 2 this morning. For now, we are in Wayland. Josh Scheinblum, CBS 2 News. A tornado touched down, taking with it much property here in Wayland, as well as over in Henry County as well. Over in this farm where we're at, just outside of the main center here in Wayland, the entire roof has been taken off of this barn over here. You can see just the sheer magnitude of that tornado as it tore off just the frame right now, currently exposed. Pieces of scrap metal all over the place, all over the entire farm here. We're told that it stretches for about 10 miles by folks who've been out here on the roads today. We're told the tornado also touched down for about a quarter of a mile in total, spanning two different counties, both Henry and Washington, hitting with it part right here in Wayland, extending over into an unincorporated part of Mount Vernon. Now, the story, though, right now is the storm that continues to go on. It's the rain that's outside. Now, we've been watching water levels actually rise pretty fast here. If you look outside this ditch, this was completely empty just about 30 minutes ago. It looks like it's risen anywhere from 4 to 6 inches right now. And road conditions out here in Washington, as well as in Henry County, are less than to be desired. If you are anywhere near 330th Street and Spruce Avenue, it's very important that you keep in mind a lot of these are dirt roads, and you could be doing some slipping and sliding. We're here right now with Dan. Dan is a storm chaser here in the area. He's been driving around in his weather vehicle. Dan, how are things looking right now?
They're pretty rough, in all honesty. There's a lot of debris, a lot of damage, all scattered across the area.
Now, we talked on the phone earlier this morning. You said about 12 homes, you estimate, have been damaged.
That's correct, yeah.
And how about the property? This is not atypical for this area.
No, it's not. And actually, I haven't even seen this one until I came across you guys this morning. This one's just an outbuilding. A lot of them are actual homes that do have a lot of damage, so...
So there's a lot going on here, guys. If you do have to get out here on the roads, make sure you're very careful. We've seen thunder, we have seen lightning, and this is all, of course, in the aftermath of a tornado. Now, we have been talking with local police, both at the Henry County Sheriff's Department as well as over at the Washington County Sheriff's Department and local police as well. They say that while there are no injuries, that is no excuse to be coming out here and necessarily taking any unnecessary risks. So unless you absolutely have to go outside, it's very clear that this is still kind of a dangerous situation out here, so be very careful and cautious when you head out on those roads. For now, we are in Wayland. Josh Scheinblum, CBS 2 News.